What is going on, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the STS Guys. Episode, is it 117 already? 117.
117.
I am filling in for Jeremy as the intro person today. I am Scott.
Hey, it's Larry.
Hey guys, it's Nate.
And we are the STS Guys, the podcast where we sit around, shoot the shit, talk about everything geeky, nerdy, and cool. What is going on, guys?
It's been a week.
It's been a week.
It has been a week.
A somewhat uneventful week, though, I must say. I mean, there's been a lot of news and stuff, but personally, I can't say I had a whole lot going on.
Yeah, no, this is that shit week after the 2 weeks of holiday. This is that week of don't do anything. You don't go do fun stuff. You don't do anything super nuts. I did do something a little weird though that you guys might. I'm going to say this, and you guys are going to be like, "Yeah, of course you did." That's what you do. It's you.
Does it involve alcohol?
No, it does not.
Oh.
Whiskey?
No. But I found a random sale on something. Let me preface this. I'm going to go through. So you guys know about the whole Keeping Up with the Kardashians show, right? There's this character on there that I want to.
What show are you talking about?
Yeah.
No,
is it new?
Sure.
It's new. It's this brand new thing.
Is it Kardashian?
Out of all the people in that show, I want to kick almost all of them in the face. But there's one in particular that I very much really want to kick in the face, and he has the same first name as me, right? And there's this whole big thing about him buying this lordship thing, right? And going to England or Scotland, wherever he was at. I wasn't actually paying attention to the show enough to care what he actually did. But he buys this lordship and then starts calling himself Lord Disick for this whole time. And I'm like, fuck that guy. That's bullshit, first of all. So my wife's like, no, I mean, he had to go through and do a whole bunch of shit. No, you don't, because you're now looking at Lord Bradshaw, because I got it done for $12, son.
Wait, you're
a
now?
lord now? Oh, shit.
Okay, hold on. First, I'm like, where's the story going?
Yeah, I was like, where is this? But, oh my God, Lord Scott.
Yeah, all right. So you can just do this on. Oh, you even have a certificate. Look at that.
Yep.
Wow.
We're among loyalty here, people.
Yes. Well, so technically, see, what they don't tell you is it's not like House of Lords Lord. So it's just somebody who has a manor can give out Lord of the Manor titles. You're still considered Lord, but you're Lord of that manor. But it's all bullshit to be fair. It's just some weird English law where they can't tell you no, right? You can call yourself whatever you want according to their titles or whatever. But it was out of a thing to prove a point. I'm like, to prove this guy is just it's just bullshit. I'm going to do this too. And it happened to be $12. So I'm like, fuck that. That's the perfect price to do something stupid.
That is awesome, actually.
Can you update your LinkedIn profile to show that you are Lord?
I think I can. So
I think you should.
I think in all
Do
things, with all the titles, I think this makes me the Lord Reverend.
Oh,
that's awesome.
Because
And if you think about it, you kind of have a manor, right? Your house is your manor. It's your land, your property.
Yeah.
So you're Lord of the Bradshaw land.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my that's my stupid news of I got annoyed by a TV show. By the way, this was not a new thing going on. I got mad at a repeat of a TV show that I just happened to catch as my wife was watching it. I was like, that's so fucking stupid. You can do this for whatever. And she's like, I guess it's kind of dumb, but I mean, it's cool. He gets to call himself that. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to show you how dumb this is.
Your show is really stupid. Let me prove it to you.
Not like this show. To be fair, my wife loves it. But that whole thing, because, to go around and be like, oh, I'm a lord now. Shut the fuck up, first of all. And yeah, I pay $12 and have the same goddamn thing. So shut up.
He probably played 10 times that much.
Exactly.
Because he's Scott Disick and he can.
Yeah, exactly. He can. He didn't get the Groupon. He paid full price.
That's a pretty great story, Scott.
Yeah, I thought that was a good story, right? To come out. So yeah.
I like it.
Officially from now on, you're going to see Lord Scott
Oh, God.
dash STS Guys.
I've got two things not quite as good as yours. I wanted to do a special shout out to our friend Mark, who's been listening to the podcast. So
What up, Mark?
hopefully he catches this one. So thank you, Mark, for listening to our podcast.
Hey, Mark.
Well, yeah, so thank you for that. But then again, he really loved the
Scotty Too Stumpy from last
Scotty
week.
Too Stumpy thing. So
Scotty
I have to
Too
bring that up.
Stumpy.
Like we spent way too long talking about
That is true.
about a one big dick joke.
That's kind of our
last
MO,
week.
though. Like we usually spend way too much time talking about something that we never expected.
Yeah, right. And this last week, it happened to be a dick joke.
Yeah.
Scotty Too Stumpy. Let's bring it back.
It's like
It'll
a
never
two-
die.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. So thanks, Mark. And I went to a Funko Pop sale today
Nice.
at Asylum Records. Right, it's a record
Ooh.
store.
Was it like a swap meet sort of thing? Like people could
Yeah.
bring their stuff?
So I've been before, yeah. It's a record store that's in this basically kind of abandoned strip mall. So there's a lot of
Oh.
space. I know. So they let people set up tables outside, and if it's free, which is cool, like to buy and sell, you just bring your own fold-up table and you bring out your pops and you sell them. So I went. I didn't buy anything, but Ian went with me. Ian bought a Jollibee pop, a Rick and Morty pop, and some Mickey Mouse mystery minis, all for like what did he spend? Like $30. So not too bad. But yeah, that was fun. Like the best part about those ones is there's a lot of people who just want to get rid of stuff. So there's a lot of like $5 pops and
Yes.
stuff. That's what I found last time. There's
Was
nothing
it-
that I wanted, but
Was there quite a few people who really didn't know what they had, or is it
no,
pretty
like
general,
everybody
like-
knows what they have nowadays. But I think it's more that it's stuff that's not really worth a lot, and you just want to get rid of it, so you'll take anything.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of fairly like less than retail pops out there because people just want to get rid of them to save space or whatever.
Yeah,
So-
I was gonna say the one thing about pops is they're great, but when you keep them in the box,
oh yeah,
they don't take up that much space. But when you start to get multiple of them,
yeah. When you get to the
case in
hundreds,
point, turn
When
like
you-
Larry
when
behind
you-
you, they start to take up some space.
So I think it's interesting to see that's where a lot of people are at, where it's just kind of like I want to get rid of some of the stuff I don't care about anymore. So it was fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love going to stuff like that, because, I collect figs, and I've gone to things like that before. And like you said, sometimes you can find figures for cheap.
Yeah.
Or, people are just trying to let stuff go. So you're like, oh, I need this character. I need that character. Like maybe smaller stuff. Every once in a while you find something that's really good. You're like, oh man, that's cool. But for the most part, it's like stuff that people are just trying to get rid of.
Yeah, that's the best part. Like there's some high end stuff too, right? Some expensive, but like that's not what I was there for. I was really just there to scrounge for the stuff people were willing to give away.
Right.
Can't beat a pop for $5, man. Nate, you picked up some cool figures this week. You got was it a Robin and a Superboy?
Oh yeah. The Super Sons.
Where did those come from?
So I was been looking for this set for a long time. DC Icons from DC Collectibles. They actually stopped making this line, and this set is called the Super Sons set. It comes with Damian Wayne and Jonathan Kent. So like the two Super Sons. But
where only one is technically a super.
Only one is super. The other guy's just a kid dressed up as
a
Robin.
brat.
And he's a real brat. Yeah. But
well, to be fair though, that is the Robin that kills people. So
he's probably the darkest Robin.
yeah.
Oh, is he? He looks like a normal Robin to me.
No, he's the one that was raised by Ra's al Ghul.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's kind of got like that bad upbringing.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, I've been after this set for a long time because I missed it initially. It's gone up in value. I found a guy on eBay that actually ended up being local. So I messaged him and I said, hey man, you're in Mesa. I live in, Phoenix. We should meet up. I could take these off your hand. And then I asked him, I said, is there anything you're looking for? So there was a couple of figures he was looking for, and I ended up having one of them.
Nice.
We ended up doing like a trade, which was great because I didn't have to pay full price for it. It was awesome, man. I'm really happy I got that set. I posted a shot on my Instagram, and it did really well. Like a lot of people really liked it. So I'm going to be doing some more of those. It's really, really cool set. I was going to do an unboxing, but it's been out for so long. There's so many on there already that I don't think it would do too well because it's been out.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
Let's do an unboxing for something that's like 2 years old. You're like,
Yeah.
People are like, I've seen this already.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I hadn't seen those figures before, and I thought they were pretty cool. So
yeah, and same thing too. Like,
I didn't know that you. I didn't know the whole story, but that's pretty cool that you were able to meet up with the guy.
Yeah, there's always like figures, like I'm sure there's pops that you're like, man, it'd be nice to have that. Yeah. Or, that's a figure that I've been wanting for a while. Like you're trying to fill out, like for me, I want more figures in my Bat family. So I'm like, okay, who can I add to that? Or the DC family, whatever.
Yeah. And like Mezco probably is going to make a Superboy anytime soon. Maybe a Robin, but those are good. Yeah, those are good pickups.
Yeah. And then you think about it like, do I really want to spend $80 on like a Damian Robin or should I just pick up this cheaper one? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Good point. What do you like? Totally not planned topic again, but what did you think about those McFarlane, the new DC McFarlane? Is it DC Multiverse still? Those got announced this week. What did you think about those figures?
Yeah, shout out to Larry. He was like, "Hey man, we got these product images of the DC McFarlane figures," and I was like, "Oh sweet!" And they were just starting to kind of leak. Everybody had like maybe one or two of those images. They were posting some stuff, but we got like all of them.
Yeah.
So thanks to whoever sent us that.
McFarlane.
It was okay. It was directly McFarlane.
That was from McFarlane. Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah,
it's nice to have local friends.
The McFarlane figures are cool. DC Multiverse I was really into, and I really liked when Mattel had the line. The only thing that like has kind of like turned me away from it is that they're a bigger scale. So they're 7 inches tall as opposed to 6. So they don't really fit with anything that I have.
You just move them back a little bit. That forced perspective.
True. But some of these are pretty big from what I've seen in review videos. And it's just like if you have a Batman next to like a Superman and the Batman's like 2 inches taller, you're like, he doesn't even look like he's in the same scale.
Yeah.
Because it's not just the height, it's the bulkiness, it's everything.
No.
But yeah, I mean, it's a cool line. Some of them look really cool. Like I really like the Hellbat, which is like an armored Batman. They have this cool like Bat Raptor Batmobile that I thought was awesome. That can it can fit a 6-inch figure.
Oh, nice.
So you don't really get many vehicles like that, especially Bat vehicles.
Nate, you might need to get yourself a Batmobile for your pictures.
Yep. And there's some other cool ones too. There's like a Batman Who Laughs, which there's no figures of that guy.
No, none at all.
Yeah, if anybody's familiar with DC Metal, he's from that. So he's fairly new.
And there's the Batman from Detective Comics 1000 too.
Yeah,
right? That was a pretty that issue just came out. Like I thought that was cool that they already had a figure of that one too.
That's true, and it seems like pretty good variety, really random, like picks. And it's weird because they gave us like 2 Batman. They gave us like a Batman Detective Comics 1001. They also gave us the animated version.
Yeah, and
then we got a Superman who's from the comics, and also an animated Superman. And then you got like an animated Green Lantern. You got a Nightwing.
It's a deep wave for a first wave.
It really is.
Surprised how many figures that.
I thought
maybe like 4 or 5, but
that's what I was thinking. Like
it's a lot, man.
Yeah, grabbing a couple figures would come out with that first line, not like out of the gate that many and that variety. I thought we might get like a Superman and a Batman and maybe a villain, and then something else, but not like you said, multiple versions of the characters, that sort of thing. It's super cool.
Yeah,
it's cool. Pretty cool. I think they're out already, right? I saw Tyler Batman figs found a couple of them at I think Walmart the other day.
Yeah, I actually went hunting for them today. I couldn't find them locally. The Target said they're going to be for sale on the 19th here.
Oh, cool.
So I think they're starting to come out across the U.S. But yeah, people are getting them.
Oh, yeah.
People that have them tend to like them a lot. So I think they're doing well. And I watched this cool video on McFarlane's Instagram, and he's, showing off the figures, and he seems really excited about the line. He's like, hey, let us know your thoughts. We want to make these good. They have the license for 3 years. So whether or not you like it, it's going to be McFarlane.
Yeah. They're going to have it for a little bit. Yeah.
Well, they make good figures all the way back to like those original Spawn figures.
Yeah.
Like they've always done like high quality stuff.
McFarlane stuff. I mean, they've done a lot of stuff. Like McFarlane did the Walking Dead figures. Yeah. Like they got some good McFarlane stuff. I don't know if I have one Ridley, but I have a couple Assassin's Creed characters that are McFarlane ones that are like the nice, because they always make like the shitty one that's still looks good, but you can tell it was like the $12 one, and then they have like the $40 one where you're like, oh, that one's like way more detailed and has like, instead of with the assassins, instead of like the knives being stuck on the belt, you can actually take out each individual knife. It makes
it is things cool like that are like big differences. Is the gun molded in, or can I actually remove it and use it? And sometimes it's just molded in. You're like, why would you do that? Like, give me a gun that I can take out. But yeah, little things like that. And there's definitely, it's one of those things. When I see it in the wild, I'm gonna have to grab maybe one or two of them just to see what I think about it. Definitely the Hellbat, because he would be good for like a background, like just armor piece in the Batcave. And like Hockey said in the chat, the Bat Raptor, that vehicle is only like $25. So
that's a great price.
That fits a 6-inch figure, that's a really good price.
Yeah. And Hockey reminded me that there's a Arrow, like a CW Arrowverse Arrow. Like, I think I want to get that one in case they make like Flash or anyone else from the TV shows. Yeah. Like, I think I got to grab the Arrow just in case. Plus, that would be a cool figure. That would be awesome, because DC Multiverse did some Flash figures like way early on, and they weren't that great. So it'd be cool to see like a Reverse Flash and like a Zoom, and maybe some guys from that crossover. So like the old school Superman, and who knows what else. Yeah, the Batman from that. Yeah, an actual Kevin Conroy. Oh yes, that would be weird. Yeah, that would be weird. But that Flash one's like pretty expensive now too, because I've looked. Yeah. And there's a Supergirl one too that I saw, actually I think is still on the shelves at Target, but her face is really ugly, and I couldn't get behind that one. So how dare you, Larry? Yeah. Her real life face is nice, but the figure face was the head scan was garbage. So. Yeah. That's to me, that's what makes or breaks a figure is how is the sculpt on the face. Yep. Yeah. So I'm hopeful that they go deeper into that world. Yeah, and I think that's part of the reason why Mattel maybe lost the license, because for a long time they weren't that great. The sculpts weren't that good. Their articulation was pretty bad. But in that last year, they gave us some really great figures, and they really like hit their peak, and then they lost the license. So it was like, you start loving this line, and then it's pulled out from under them. Once they finally started caring, they lost it. Yeah. It was almost like, we started caring a little too soon. I mean, too late. So I'm going to use this. Speaking of caring a little too late, we need to talk about Disney Plus. Yes. That's a great segue, Scott. Yeah. Is anyone else kind of disappointed now? I think go. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead. No, I was going to say, like The Mandalorian was great. And don't get me wrong, I loved having it and watching it, and like the series was good. But now that it's done, I really don't see a whole lot out of Disney Plus. Like, they need to ramp up some more content, because I can only watch fucking old shit so many times before I'm like, fuck this, I'm not going this. Since The Mandalorian is done, I haven't actually logged back in to watch anything yet. Yep, that's what I was going to ask. Like, have you guys even opened it up? Because I haven't. It's been 2 weeks now. There was definitely a period where I did not open it up for a while. And I think we all kind of said this at the beginning. Like, unless they had something right after Mandalorian, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to cancel their subscription, because it's just old stuff. Yeah. But I will say it's kind of reinvigorated my love for The Simpsons. So shout out to Larry. Nice. I was like, you know what? I'm going to start watching Simpsons. And then I ended up watching like 2 seasons of it. Nice. So I couldn't stop. But yeah, there's some really cool classic stuff. Like, I rewatched Days of Future Past on the X-Men TV show. Those 2 classic episodes I remember. Oh yeah. So little things like that are kind of keeping me a little bit more engaged, but it's going to die off pretty soon. Yeah, I like that's cool. Like, I watched some Simpsons, but it was back when I was watching Mandalorian, and it was fresh and new, and like legit. Like, Scott and I were talking about it at lunch yesterday. Like, I was watching the Jeff Goldblum show but I haven't caught the new episodes.
I mean,
and you love Scott loves Jeff Goldblum way more than I do. And
yeah, and
he was further behind than I am.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, I just finished like the tattoo episode. There's like 4 of them more.
Yeah,
I haven't gone in and gone through. So, like, I like the show, but that one show like that's like a documentary style thing does not a happy consumer make.
No,
You know,
what do you guys think about? Is it Clone Wars that gets another season next month? Are you going to watch that?
No.
I'd never watched the show. I
neither.
wanted to get into it, but how many seasons does it have?
That's quite a few.
Yeah,
it's like
right.
I don't know if I want to make the investment.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. I will tell you that it was good. It was cool to kind of get more than just like what you saw in the movies of like the Jedi doing stuff, right? Like
121 episodes, 6 seasons. So yeah, it's not like you can just jump into the new one.
That's not a binger like either. That's like all right, I'm gonna have to do this for a while.
Yeah, this is like a few months here.
It's a chore.
I guess what kind of sucks with it is for me is going back to that series. I mean, you had 6 seasons of that, and then you had Rebels, which kind of takes over where has a lot to do. Like some of the characters, like Ahsoka comes back in Rebels. So a lot of these characters, we know their like kind of the fate that befalls them, right? Like we know a lot of these things. I really don't care too much about them going to some random planet with the clone troopers, like fighting robots. Like you've already told the majority of the stories. What new stories can you tell that you already haven't?
Yeah, and it's that weird. Like I didn't realize that till just now. But yeah, it's that weird kind of like Rogue One, right? We already know what happens after. Like it makes it hard for the writers to write a good story with any like. You already kind of know the consequences. You know at least know who's going to live.
Anakin and Obi-Wan will never be in trouble, right?
Yeah,
I know what. Like you have a next movie. Like I know what happens.
Yeah.
So.
Right, that takes away some of the the allure of trying to watch the show.
Well, and the other thing too is that this is where it gets kind of, I'll tell you, it gets a little bad. Is Anakin at the start of Revenge of the Sith is a little bitch, but he's actually really awesome in the Clone Wars. You're like, are you ever going to show why he turned into like a little bitch again, or is it just like that's just different between the things? Like good character and then shitty person. Like
if anything, it's like understanding kind of the backstory of those characters a little bit more, because for me, like I didn't watch any of that, and there's a lot of content about Obi-Wan I've heard in the show. There's a lot of content about Anakin in the show that really helps you appreciate these characters a little bit more. And I think some people have said that they think that there might be some connection to the new Obi-Wan movie from what you've seen in Clone Wars.
Yeah, I bet there will be.
Mm-hmm.
Which so it kind of sucks, but I mean, like whatever. I'm sure you can watch the Obi-Wan show without having to watch this.
Maybe we'll see the birth of Baby Yoda.
Oh God.
Ooh.
or at least him as smaller, because at 50 years old, that puts that Baby Yoda roughly about Darth Vader's age, right? Like by the time of the New Hope, like him and Vader are about the same age. So maybe we see even smaller Baby Yoda in this new attack. Clone Wars.
I really want to see like what happens to this Baby Yoda, because he apparently takes place in between what original trilogy and new trilogy that just ended, right?
Yeah.
And and Force Awakens.
There's never any Yoda that shows up in the new trilogy. I know we talked about this I think once before, but why the hell would you introduce Baby Yoda if it's got no connection to any of the lore later on?
And here's the other question: is what happened to Yaddle? Right? Like we know about Yoda, but then the other we've seen 2 of his species. Yaddle's the other one, and where the fuck did she go? Maybe that's Baby Yoda's mom. Like I don't know. But apparently Jon Favreau's been like trying to hint at some shit. I think trying to drum up some. Season 2 being like, well, it's not really Baby Yoda. We call him the child, but like, I don't take away from the Baby Yoda moniker. You're like, oh fuck, it's a clone. God damn it! Like,
yeah, it probably is some type of
clone. It was always a clone.
Yeah, I'm like, oh god, like now that you're saying, oh, you're not too far off with it calling it Baby Yoda. I'm like, oh yeah, you fucker. Like, don't drop like. Of course, it's a goddamn clone. You can't just introduce a new character, Disney. Like. Just give us a new character. I don't need a backstory to be related back to another character.
Well, but
Just
if it was
be
going
like-
to be all right, but if it was going to be a new character, it shouldn't look like Yoda. They should have made an entirely new species and made it just be this cute baby. You could have done that.
Yeah, but
Come up with something new.
The big
But
mystery
people
was
don't want-
Yoda.
People don't want new. They want their old Star Wars stuff rehashed into the new Star
So
Wars
they can
stuff. That's
bitch
why you get
about
Baby Yoda.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what if Baby Yoda wasn't actually a Yoda? Would it have been as popular?
Absolutely not.
No, it's just going to be a
absolutely
grumpy
not.
guy carrying a baby. But like,
Yeah,
people,
who's this
like,
annoying baby.
people just want
kill
some
it.
fucking
I
like.
punch him.
Yeah, well, he got punched a couple of times.
Pretty hard too.
Pretty hard, yeah. Maybe we should check to see if it's okay. So I think people want rehash Star Wars stuff because we said this in the one that Larry and I were on the episode. People just love to bitch about Star Wars and find fault in everything. We knew this and still found fault in everything with the new Star Wars movie. So I think, it makes more sense that it's a Baby Yoda so people can bitch about it being a Baby Yoda. But then everyone fucking loves it. It's how many new memes, like they fucking use that Baby Yoda, especially him with the little cup of like soup in like every meme from now on. Like he's just there.
Yeah. Well, they already have T-shirts out, right? Disney's already cranking out the merch, so money.
And here's the other thing too, with this new Clone Wars, they're doing it episodic, right? Like it's going to be a new episode every week.
Yeah, that's how Disney Plus does everything. That's how they did the Imagineering thing. That's how they did Jeff Goldblum. That's how they're doing the High School Musical thing. Yeah, they're doing one a week.
Every Friday. That's the thing I have like the most contention with is the once a week thing. Like,
okay,
your streaming service. Just give me that shit and let me watch it on my own goddamn time. Like
I get it now. Like I totally agree with you. Like I really wish I would have got all the Mandalorian day one, but I get it because Disney Plus doesn't have anything else to put on.
Yeah,
we would have checked out of Disney Plus the first weekend if they didn't string this along so long. So that's like I guarantee you that's why they made the decision to do it one episode a week, just because they needed to keep those users up.
Yeah.
And you would think at this point they'd have some kind of advertising for what's coming next. But when you go onto the app, there is nothing that shows you what's coming or like, hey, stay with Disney Plus until next month.
Yeah. Well, but people complained about that too, right? Netflix actually does a really good job.
Yes.
They don't tease it too far out usually, but they let you know it's what, middle of January now. They just announced the release date for like the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, right? It's sometime in end of February. Like they let you know like 6 weeks in advance, like, hey, this is coming. They do a really good job of letting you know when stuff's going away too, like a month in advance. Because that was one of the big complaints about Disney Plus too, is right after Christmas, the Home Alone movies disappeared and people were freaking out.
Yeah.
That's true. But they do those things. At least they came out and eventually said that, like, there's like music licensing that we don't own, so we can't show these anymore. But it's still bullshit that like stuff just dropped off. I'm actually going to share my screen for something here though. God,
I hope it's a graph.
It is a graph. It's a graph. It's a graph. So I want to show you here on this one. The red little marking. I'm sorry for anybody who's listening to this
You have to explain what this is, guys.
Yeah, so this is a graph. So the two shows, it was The Witcher versus Mandalorian. They were chosen because they both have pretty decent fan bases. They came out around-ish the same time of the year, so there's not like a seasonality thing. But this is basically kind of the hits on those services that they're shown here. And we see like spikes each week on the red for The Mandalorian. And then the show ends and it literally at the very end just kind of drips down, right? If you look at The Witcher, obviously it's nothing up until the day it releases. It spikes to like almost double to 2.5 times the viewership.
Oh yeah, its initial release is way bigger than, it's like 3 times higher than any Mandalorian day.
Yeah, exactly. And then the thing that keeps it up is that the viewership continues. I mean, it decreases as any show will, but it decreases it stays higher than Mandalorian ever was at the point at the end of this kind of, I guess, when they're tracking the time frame. Eventually, they'll both go down to 0 because it's going to happen. But I thought that was a cool little thing to show.
Shout out to Forbes.com
for doing a good review, and both of them ended up being fairly close in terms of like critic and like Metacritic and like Rotten Tomato reviews and everything. So it was a really good way to look at it. So I was just saying, you're gonna get better hits when you just drop everything because people want to watch more, especially when it's like a new thing. Like they want to see, like you give them one episode, they're gonna want more, and if you make them wait that week, they're gonna be like, "Fuck, this is stupid." Like, I pay for streaming, so like just give me like everything up front.
True. And like, or at least give us a trailer for what is coming, because that's another thing that like Larry was talking about earlier, and I think HBO is really good about this too. I'll get to a point where I'm like, I think I'll cancel HBO for a little bit. I got done with Watchmen, and they start showing trailers of the new show that's coming, and it starts right after Watchmen. So I'm like, I'll keep it for a little bit longer. But like, there's just no like. At least it's giving me something to say, like, hey, this is coming. Or like Larry said, watch these before they leave. There's a category about that. There's nothing like that in Disney. And I don't know if it's because it's a newer service or what, but it's like they set it up, they set it and forget it. It's like it has not changed since day one.
Well, Larry, you made a point too that when we were out at lunch that I need to bring up and mention, because you said something really great, is like, thank God that a majority of the people that have Disney Plus are getting it for free from one of the promotions or another. Yeah. Because they're not going to cancel their 1 year for free. Yeah. And they're probably going to forget about it, and it's going to renew. So like, that's one of the other things with that is like Disney, like, do they have viewers that are not like conned into that 1 year thing? Because a ton of people bought the year because it was way cheaper,
or more,
and then found more.
They offered like 3 and 4 year packages too. Yeah. So I feel like the majority of the people probably have like a long-term subscription. So yeah, we're not going to cancel. Like, and it's so cheap anyhow. You're probably not canceling your $6 or whatever it costs.
Well, and one thing I want to ask you guys, since you have kids, I know you don't have like really young kids, but would you say that you've gotten a lot of use out of the material just for your kids because of stuff they might not have seen on Disney? Or
to be fair, my daughter would much rather probably go on YouTube than watch like some like occasionally she'll pull up and be like, watch episodes like Mickey Mouse or some of those like cartoons. Occasionally
there's some Mickey Mouse shorts that I know Ian watched all of. I don't know how new they are, but if they're in a Disney Plus original. Ian really likes the Forky Asks a Question. But those are 3 minutes. Like,
there's my daughter. I think at some point my daughter burned through. Yeah, my daughter burned through all the like Pixar shorts that they showed in front of the movies. Like the ones, and she burned through those in a span of 30 minutes. They're not long.
Yeah, they're short.
So she went through all of them. She's like, okay, what next? Like, I don't know. Do you want to watch Beauty and the Beast? And she's like, no. Like,
so what you're saying is your kids would rather watch Ryan's toy reviews than an old Disney movie.
Basically, yes. That's why that kid made millions of dollars.
$25 million last year.
Yeah.
He's got a whole toy section at Walmart.
There's a fun thing too. If you ever get suckered into it, I just do this. I turn it into a drinking game. Every time his mom annoyingly like fake laughs, take a shot. You'll die.
Look, that was me fake laughing.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I had to watch like one or two just after you read the articles, you're like, okay, I got to check this kid out. But it was nothing. I'm like, how does this have 700 million views on it?
It was like the first one. Like it's the first. The people that are there are the first ones to the gate. Yeah, they got all the kids, and they're the algorithm is picking them up the best. But they're all fucking annoying. Oh, I actually would like to see kind of like some statistics on the after they made all the new rules, where like they nerfed all their like payouts. Like how many are they slowing down their videos, or are they ramping them up? Like, how are they reacting to the fact that they make like a 1/10 of the money that they used to?
That's a good point. Like, are people going to be producing as much? And then I think with like another point to that is the whole COPA thing. I think might have got blown out of proportion a little bit because
always does.
You see a lot of people getting back on YouTube that said they were not going to use it anymore. And there doesn't seem to be any. I've heard no stories of people getting in trouble.
I think it was really for people that it was literally a rule that I think YouTube is going to enforce when they need to, and not just across the board. They're gonna find that person that's like writes like, Elsa, Shrek, Spider-Man, like title that's just like jumble of keywords, and then it has like people like doing drugs and shit. They're gonna be like, fuck you, you're done, get out.
Yeah.
But they're not gonna bother like the kid who does like
the Funko Pop channel,
or the kid that is playing a video game. Like they're not gonna bother those people. You're not going to. I mean, PewDiePie drops an N-word again, he might get booted, but
probably not.
Yeah, but he makes them a lot of money, so probably not.
Yeah.
So
interesting. So since we're talking about streaming, we're talking about lack of content.
Yeah.
Is there any shows that you guys have watched recently that you would like to recommend? Like, there's been some new stuff that I've watched.
It's old.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Came by us.
Girls?
Yeah.
Golden Girls.
The sequel series with the dude that moves into their house.
Oh, Golden Palace.
Golden Palace.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You watched
Don
No,
Cheadle?
fuck no, I did not with Don Cheadle. No. So it's a show I really enjoy. It's a little dated, but it was on Showtime back in like the late 2000s. It's Penn and Teller's Bullshit. If anybody gets a chance, go check it out. Go watch it. It's a really good call out of like, everyone thinks that recycling is good, but here's why it's bullshit. And then they go through and show you like why stuff that you popular opinion, why it's actually really stupid. So if you want to know the reason why I am, it was that show that really made me, and the fact that it's back on Hulu has it, and they have it available. Go watch it.
Nice.
Good shout out, Scott.
Get up on this. Good
get up on
this.
I was trying to think of like the word. I was like,
I know you were. I've been watching two things. One I finished, and one that I'm in the middle of. I'm super late on Superstore. I started watching that randomly because it showed up on Hulu. Yeah, it showed up on Hulu. Like after I finished watching Scrubs, it's like, you might like this. I'm like, okay, and I'm like 3 seasons in. It's pretty good. It's not like the greatest show, but it's one of those like you can just throw on and watch, and you don't have to pay that close of attention. And that is absolutely my favorite type of show. So I'm watching Superstore, and I just finished something on the forgotten streaming service, Apple TV Plus. I watched The Morning Show starring Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, Steve Carell.
# Me Too, the movie or the TV show.
Yeah, which I didn't even know when I started it. It's Steve Carell basically gets fired from The Morning Show for like sexual harassment, having like inappropriate relationship with other employees. And Reese Witherspoon comes in to be his replacement. Jennifer Aniston's good. It's a really good cast. It's a pretty good show. It's definitely not my typical thing, right? I lean way more to the Superstore than I do to this. But
so Larry, tell the story though, because you told me a story when we were at lunch, and about you watched it, you stopped watching it, and then somebody had to talk you back to finishing it out. Yeah,
it's pretty good. So my friend Adam was the one who said it was good. I had heard a couple other people say it was good, so I started watching it. I stopped at episode 8. Episode 8, like mild spoilers, right? Episode 8 is a flashback episode where, like, basically the it's not really rape, but it's the questionable incident.
The diddling happened.
Yeah,
the diddling happened.
It's the questionable incident with Steve Carell. I kind of stopped after that. I'm just like, I don't know if I really want to finish this. Which, when you're 8/10 through a show, is very unusual.
You stopped at episode 8 out of 10.
Yeah,
like I would give you like 3, 4. Like you're like, oh, I gave this thing a shot.
Nope,
you stopped at 8.
And I finished like those first 8 within like 3 days. I really liked it, and then I just got totally derailed. I went to work. Adam talked me into finishing it. It was good. The last episode was really good too. So if you have access to it, I think Apple is giving away free year-long subscriptions to anybody who has like any type of Apple product, right? Your iPhone, your MacBook, anything, you basically have a free year that you just have to go in and activate.
It's like, please like us.
I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah, Hockey watched it too, and he said I like the show all right too. Not amazing, but pretty great. Yeah, same. Like I enjoyed it. Really good acting. I really like Reese Witherspoon. Still after all these years, and but yeah, if you're looking for something to watch that's kind of different.
So what you're telling me, Larry, is you were definitely looking forward to that Legally Blonde sequel that's
I'm going to go watch.
Coming out.
Yeah, I think I have to watch Legally Blonde 3.
Yeah,
like I don't think there's ever any question. Yeah.
Whenever that drops in 2021,
I think it's this year, man.
Is it 2020? Yeah. Okay.
I've been wanting to watch the morning show specifically because of Steve Carell. I haven't seen him in anything in a while, so I'm like, okay, I got to watch it.
It's not like 40-year-old virgin Steve Carell or The Office Steve Carell,
right?
And he's really he does really good at the more serious roles too, which is right. It's crazy that that the guy who started off like
Michael Scott,
a goofy comedian, and he can do these really serious roles really well too. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. What have you been watching, Nate?
So I just got done watching Watchmen.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, it was at first it was a little slow. It was a little bit weird. So for anybody that's not familiar, it has a direct tie-in to the comic. It happens after the comic.
It's a sequel to the comic, not necessarily the movie.
Right.
The movie kind of, but the movie fucked up the ending. So
yeah,
it goes off the comic book ending, not the.
Right. It's a true adaptation of the comic, and kind of after that. And we don't have any other comics that tell that story, like what happened after all of this. Oh. So at first it kind of starts out a little weird because you get introduced to some new characters you haven't seen before. You're like, how does this kind of tie into the larger universe? Then they start showing Dr. Manhattan and kind of like Ozymandias, what is he up to? Ends up like getting really good, and the ending just blew my mind. Like it was crazy.
So Nate, by the way you pronounce that, by the way, I just think about an Australian man named Diaz. By the way,
Ozymandias.
Yeah, Ozymandias. It's like, wait, like Diaz, a man from Australia? Ozymandias.
Ozymandias. Yeah. I didn't say it fast enough.
Yeah,
Ozymandias.
Going slow. I was like, Ozymandias. It's like, wow.
That's a good call. I think I was like making sure I said it right as I'm saying it.
You articulated a little too well, and it broke it up into different words.
Yeah, that's good. Talking about a different show entirely.
Yeah, I would actually watch the show about a person who calls himself Aussie Man. Like, all right, I guess he's gonna be like the crocodile hunter in real life. All right, let's go.
Oh, nice. I like that actually.
All right.
But yeah, it's cool. It tells a really cool story. There's people that are still affected by what happened with the squid, and they have like these, flashbacks of the squid, and these squids end up falling in different parts of the world. And you're like, what is this all about? And you realize there's a character kind of behind all that. And then Dr. Manhattan gets used in a really interesting way. It was cool. I definitely recommend it. If you guys like the comic, you should watch Watchmen. It was a really good show. Silicon Valley is another one I've been watching.
Yeah.
Just got done with the last season.
I don't have HBO, Nate. Nate, I'm going to have to steal yours.
You can use mine anytime, Scott.
All right.
But yeah, Silicon Valley was great. I'm really sad to see it end. Me too. And I have mixed feelings about the ending because you just want these guys to be successful so bad. And then it just doesn't really fully work out.
It never gets to the. It's not a satisfying ending.
No,
it's okay.
It wasn't bad.
It's not a bad ending, but it's just
you wanted more. Bad.
I thought you haven't watched it.
No, I've seen spoilers though.
All
right. It's been out enough. I have enough people that love it. I know kind of the thing, and I've read up on it just so I can entertain people that are big fans.
The overall show is amazing.
Shout out to one of my coworkers who, along with something that Larry has on the way, bought a bunch of shit from the auction for that show afterwards.
Nice.
So let's just say she upped her wardrobe with a lot of stuff that's been on TV.
Nice.
That's kind of cool.
So, and apparently the auctions were less than buying them retail.
Really?
So
yeah. So I guess HBO gave up a bunch of the I think there were 700 items available for auction that HBO gave them, and everything from like Richard Hendricks hoodie to signs that were on the wall to coffee mugs.
I bid on some stuff.
Yeah, to Guilfoyle's Gollum Funko Pop that was on his desk that last season. I bid on some stuff. I got outbid on a lot of it, but I won 2 things. But I'm not going to say what those 2 things are until
they come here. Yeah.
Until they are in hand, and they will be part of It's Been a Week.
Yeah, it's been
nice.
There's some cool stuff. I was trying to get a couple of brewery signs that they had in the hostel in was that season 4 or 5? Can't remember.
Something like that.
It was one of the later seasons. They had a bunch of ballast point signs and stuff. I bid on a bunch of those, but it got outbid.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally, man.
Like it was the show.
It was cool, and like you said, it's. I think it's underrated for a show that had like 7 seasons, but like I think it's like if you asked me to list off my favorite TV shows, I probably wouldn't come up with that in my top 5, but it's definitely one of my favorite shows.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I'm kind of sad to see it go. It was one of those like infrequent, just quick episodes.
Yeah.
Season like would come and go so fast, you barely even. Be getting into it, and then it wraps up, and then you got to wait like a year and a half. But it was a really good show. I'm glad I got to watch it.
Yeah, it was just always entertaining. Never one of those shows where I'm like, oh gosh, I guess I'll watch the end of this. I always look forward to watching it. It was always funny. You get really attached to the characters.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sad to see it go, but it was great.
Yeah.
And then the last show I'll say that I was watching, and this is one that I've been watching with my fiance, is You on Netflix. They just had the 2nd season.
I'm a couple of episodes into season 2. It's actually really good.
It's actually a really good show. When you take first glance, you're like, okay, it's a guy that obsesses about women, but it takes it to the nth degree. And the guy that plays the part is really good.
He's actually really good at that type of role. Surprising from a guy who does like teenage dramas.
Yes.
Before that, and he comes out to be like this, we'll say psychopath, right?
Yeah,
like,
the psychotic, obsessive person that, we won't go into too much detail. I don't want to give it too many spoilers, but
there's a lot of twists and stuff. Yeah.
He picks like one woman and he like obsesses about her to the nth degree. Like he knows everything about her. It kind of makes you get scared about social media because everything he finds out about people is through social media. And you can hear him talking to himself as he's looking. He's like, oh, you left your account public. You really shouldn't do that, but I'm glad you did.
I don't have to request anything. I can stay anonymous while I look at everything about your life, and comments on like how they post every little detail about their life. He's like, oh, I know exactly where you're going to be, when you're going to be there. Like I can tell you everything about you.
He said something like that really stuck with me. He's like, oh, I can see in your story you were at Starbucks 10 minutes ago. I'm going to go there and you'll probably still be there.
Yeah.
Like, sure enough, she is.
Isn't that what got like Kim Kardashian in trouble that one time? Like was she in like France or something, and she got robbed because she was posting on her Snapchat
all the shit she had, and exactly.
And
like
people knew where she was. Like, you gotta be careful whether you're just like the girl down the street or like celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
some of that, man. When you're out and about, people know you're out and about.
Yeah, that's why I always post shit about my vacation, usually when I'm home from said vacation.
Yeah. You got to be careful. You never know what people are looking into, but really good show. You's great. So if you have any interest at all, or if you have nothing else to watch, I highly recommend checking it out. You'll probably end up liking it more than you think.
Yeah. You and your fiance, Nate, that's me and my wife's, like watch that together. You don't watch this without me. I won't watch without you. Like we're watching this together show.
Yeah, exactly. But so what else? Any other shows you guys watch? I know there's some other things we wanted to talk about.
So I want to see. I want to turn the tables just a little bit here.
Okay.
Because seeing what shows good. What is some of the stuff that you would like to see? Whether that's like Netflix doing something, any of these shows, or like on Disney, like where do we go next with these? Like, do you have anything that you're like hoping for? Because I do. I have something.
Yeah. I'll say I've been really disappointed with DC Universe. I mean,
that's
Titans,
still a thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I was really hoping it to be something else, and like, I feel what they're trying to do is
you don't like fuck Batman.
No, Titans was okay at best, but not really that great. They've got some other weird new animated show with Harley Quinn that's like way too modern for me. It's like, I don't know, hipster Harley Quinn. I can't stand it. I was just really hoping for like create some content some really good content with the characters that you have, and I just feel like they're trying to go so new, so different. Swamp Thing was a cool example of what I kind of wanted from it, and then it got killed like almost immediately.
Yeah, like right away.
Yeah. I don't know. I want more good DC material from DC Universe.
See, that's the problem. That's your contradiction right there, Nate. Good DC material.
Disney is going to be bringing a lot of good Marvel stuff, and it just makes me sad that there's nothing like that for DC right now. So that's mine.
I'm going to jump in on and kind of add to that. Like, they have this new the new Birds of Prey movie. I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer.
Yeah.
There's going to be a couple things that I think are going to be interesting in that. We get to see The Mask, and it looks like Ewan McGregor's they just told him to go to 11, and he looks like he's going all out, which kind of like most Nick Cage performances, you're like, I love the fact that you just don't give a shit. They told you go crazy, and you're like, fuck it, I'm going, dialing it to 10 crazy and having fun with it. It looks like he's really having fun with the character.
Yeah.
But there's a scene where she has like the cocaine power up. Like,
and then hits it into the guy.
Yeah, hits it in the guy, but she's like, oh, I'm sad. And the powder comes out. She's like, oh, and like goes, I'm like, that's gonna be really hard to explain why powdered sugar that powers up Harley Quinn to children.
Hey, this is the new non-kid friendly DC, man. Like,
it's still
they don't have to explain anything.
They're still too much like sparkly colors and shit. They're trying to get kids to still go see that shit. They're trying to get them fans in. The other thing I'm mad about that show, but I'll get to my real point about it. But why the hyena? No Bud, no Lou. It's Bruce, named after Bruce Wayne, but like. Because she says on this, like, it's Bruce named after that hunky Wayne guy. No, like, fuck, it's Bud or Lou. Like, I don't care that you don't have two. If you only have one, give me Bud or Lou.
Yeah.
Like, no.
But you have to awkwardly tie it into the greater DC universe.
Yes, Bud and Lou was fine because they were comedian. Like, they're named after comedians.
But you have to call them. They could have called them Martha.
Yeah, Martha. It's like my favorite girl name. Anyways, my point of bringing that one up is I would actually have liked to see that probably more as a TV show than a movie.
If they could get Margot Robbie on it, that would have been awesome.
I think that's a great point. Birds of Prey, to me, is not a movie I'm excited about, but had that been a show on the DC universe, I probably would have watched it.
Right, and you could make it a little bit longer. Like, the whole idea seems like they're going to have to, like, deconstruct his criminal empire, and like I think that works way better when you stretch that out and you can include more things that they have to do that and make it better. Like, that should have been a goddamn TV show. That should have been the DC's answer to Star Wars Mandalorian is Birds of Prey as a TV show with like major actors in it. Yeah, like keep the cast, make it a show.
And I feel like because it is a movie, Harley Quinn or Margot Robbie is really stealing the spotlight. And you have these other great characters that really could have been fleshed out like in a show. Like, you have Huntress, who's a cool, DC hero. You have Black Canary, who's really cool in the DC lore. But they're not really being given any kind of spotlight at all, at least so far in the trailers. And it's kind of sad because those are two big characters that you could have done a lot with. But since it's Margot Robbie, it's all about Harley.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing: is like it is all about Harley. The full title is Birds of Prey, or the Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. Yeah. Like, it's a Harley Quinn movie, but they were like, people get all butthurt if we just do Harley Quinn, so let's make it a Birds of Prey. It's got to be a fucking team up because it's a sequel to a team up. Like,
they even have Cassandra Cain in it, who eventually becomes Batwoman. It's like, man, this is all great source material for a show.
Yeah.
Hold on.
100%. Do you think, like, they're probably not smart enough to do this, but do you think they would do kind of like Marvel's doing, right? Marvel's taken some of their movie characters, like
Falcon, Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Falcon and Winter Soldier is a perfect one because it was like, instead of getting one more Falcon Winter Soldier movie, now we have basically 3 or 4 micro movies that they're going to do with
Yeah.
it. Like,
but could you do like a Huntress TV show with the same actress who plays her in the movie? Like, maybe.
Maybe.
but I think banking it off of a single movie would be do the series, and then you can do like, okay, cool, you guys really liked her. We're going to do our own Batwoman, series, because I know CW has one.
Yeah.
Which,
it's DC doing the stupid shit that they did last time with Justice League, where they give a team up movie before they've even introduced any of these people, and now they're shitting on these characters because nobody's going to know who they are, and they're not going to care after the movie's over.
And Canary is a badass in the comics.
Yes.
And we've never really seen, even in the Arrow thing, we've never seen an actually truly badass Black Canary. We need a true, fucking fishnets and all, fucking beating the shit out of people in a denim jacket, or leather jacket.
This is how you get to a Marvel team size like you found in Endgame. All those characters had great screen time. They had really good introductions. You knew who all those people were. You could do the same thing with the DC movie if you just pay these characters a little bit more respect.
Yeah, you need to give people more time to learn the characters. And I think a TV show would be a thing. Like 10, 30, 42, what is the average thing is 42 minutes, right? For an hour-long thing. 10 42-minute episodes. And I know everything about each of those characters, and I will probably care for them to watch their next adventure. You give me an hour to try to get those same characters, I don't give a shit.
No,
True. But I don't know. Like the other problem with them trying to make a show now is, I bet Warner Brothers is kind of down on this DC streaming service, and they're not going to put a lot of money into putting out a good show.
No,
because the money's not there. It's not coming back to them.
I think
they invested so much in Titans and they didn't get the return they expected. They're like, screw it.
Yeah,
they thought that Titans and making it. See, DC has this problem where they take everything and make it edgy and dark, right? Like that was the thing. Like they took Zack Snyder, who's fine at the beginning, but I'm sorry, not everything has to be the darkest version of itself, and they took that and they're like, oh, well, then everything that relates to it, even if it's not made by him, has to follow his trend, I blame Christopher Nolan and Zack Snyder for fucking ruining DC movies in that way. And they continue that with the shows and all the future movies, and they don't do well, but they just can't shake that, we have to be dark and gritty. These characters have to be brooding and dude, no, they don't. You can make it lighthearted. And this, I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you one movie that looks lighthearted from the trailers is Wonder Woman 1984. I don't think
I'm excited for that.
Are you? Yeah. I was going to ask, are you guys excited for it?
I mean, the last one was good. So
good enough.
And I think Gal Gadot's a really good Wonder Woman.
I do like her.
I'm interested to see how Steve Trevor is all of a sudden back, because it's 20 years and he's still the same old guy.
It's more than that.
Hasn't been. I don't know. I think
wasn't that World War One?
I thought it was World War II.
No, I think that was one.
Yeah. Either way, though, you're talking about 40 years.
40 years.
Yeah. So it's been a long time. Did he get cloned? And then another cool part about it is Cheetah, the villain Cheetah.
Yeah.
I don't really know much about her, but she is a nemesis character for Wonder Woman, so that'll be a good matchup.
Yeah, and who plays her? Kristen Wiig?
Kristen Wiig.
Yeah, I like her too. So I think that's a good addition to that cast.
Yeah. So you mean the main character from Bridesmaids is going to be a bad guy?
The cool
Ghostbuster girl.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She's in Ghostbusters too.
She's been in a lot of goofy roles, so it's weird to see her in a serious villain role. It'd be weird if she's still kind of her goofy self.
Or if she is. No, at least until she goes dark.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to have to try to bring that in a little bit, but I mean, she's done a couple of some more serious roles, obviously that weren't comic book villain roles, but she does really good as in a serious role too. So I think that you could still do a good serious version of the character who's, but it's going to be cool to see her as an actual villain.
Yeah, and there haven't been any female villains really. like Ghost and Ant-Man and the Wasp, but she wasn't really a villain.
No,
True.
So,
but I
that'll
think
be cool.
Does she live past one movie? I hope
Oh
so.
God, I hope so.
No.
I hope so.
Okay, and please, DC, please. Here, I'm gonna put my fucking hands up.
Scott's
Please,
begging.
please,
Get off your
Please.
knees,
Please.
Scott.
Please.
Oh, yeah. Please. The ending scene does not have to be a jumble, mix up, fucking CGI, just mash up
Yeah.
characters like they do.
Yeah.
Because Wonder Woman was great up until the last scene, CGI mashup.
All the main
Where,
villains have died.
All the main villains have died. Well, yeah,
Zod was killed.
like Zod was killed. But
Steppenwolf
again,
killed.
so let's look at like Shazam. Great movie. The very end, big CGI mix up. You couldn't tell what the fuck
Yeah.
was going on because it was
True.
quick cuts and everything.
Yeah.
And then Suicide Squad, same thing. Like, the end fight scene does not have to be too like CGI characters beating the shit out of each other at a speed in which my eye cannot track.
Mhm.
It does not give you any credence to the movie. Show me a good, well thought out fight scene, and call it a day. But like, don't give me another thing. Like DC is really bad about that. Is that fucking do everything well up until the ending, and then they just fuck that shit up.
Yeah. Another thing I'm interested in is Pedro Pascal is in the movie. He's a character I haven't heard of before. It's probably because I'm not as familiar with Wonder Woman, but he is Maximilian. What's his last name? Maxwell Lord. So I don't know what his character is in this movie. I think he has connection to being a villain. Probably creates Cheetah or something.
Well, first off, I mean the guy's name is Maxwell Lord. He's a villain.
Yeah. And then also Wonder Woman in this like really stunning gold armor. I think she wears that in Kingdom Come armor that's kind of gold like that. But
yeah,
it has to be like a power upgrade or
I just think
something's
that's
going
like
on there.
she finally realizes like that's like the Zeus made like
Oh,
armor, right?
That
Like
could be
that's like
true.
the whole finds out that she's you had the Ares as a god in the last one, so this one may be where she finds out that she's like a demigod,
So according to Wikipedia, Maxwell Lord was influential in the formation of the Justice League International in the DC universe. He kind of looks like a white Nick Fury.
So like original Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He kind of looks like Nick Fury.
Nick
Or
Fury
he could be like organizing a team.
So
maybe?
so wait,
Maybe.
so what we're saying is we could theoretically, instead of Pedro Pascal, is go get the guy who played Nick Fury back in the day. David Hasselhoff isn't doing anything. You could bring him in to play the character.
David Hasselhoff would be amazing in Wonder Woman 1984.
Yeah, right.
He needs just like a random cameo, like
A
being
cameo.
at the coffee shop or something. Like you need
Yeah.
David Hasselhoff in this movie.
I
Yeah,
can see it now at the end. Pedro Pascal comes in. He's like, Wonder Woman, we're forming a team.
I mean,
Oh, we already did that and it failed miserably.
Yeah.
yeah. If he was,
maybe
but
he's
it
the
hasn't
one.
done yet. It
This
hasn't
is an
done yet.
84. Exactly. This is an 84. Like maybe he's the one who sets
Oh.
up the horrible Justice League movie, and it's all his fault.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go.
It really
It's-
wasn't
yeah.
Batman, because it's basically Batman, right? He went around and picked up the Flash and stuff. Like
That's true.
I don't know,
So-
maybe I don't know. It'll be interesting.
It'll be
That,
interesting.
So think about it. One of the best parts of Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was the fucking the Hasselhoff cameo when his ego turns into Hasselhoff for a minute there, and it's actually the Hoff's voice and everything. You're like, oh
Yeah.
shit! Like,
Yeah. Like that was the one good part about Guardians of
there's
the
a lot
Galaxy
more
2.
good parts of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but that was one of the parts where you're like, oh, like in the theater. That was it's kind of like in Spider-Man Far From Home. The J. Jonah Jameson scene was like, you're like, oh shit! Like
Yeah.
they have that one great moment, and that was it.
Come on, dancing baby Groot at the beginning.
See, that was played out like the scene where they're walking through the ship and it's killing everything to the music.
Yeah.
That was way better. But like the dancing baby Groot, I'm like, I don't give two shits about fucking Groot. Like, I'm not a 12-year-old child or girl that like, oh, look at the baby character. Oh, I'm like, show me what they're fucking fighting. They're fighting a giant monster. Show me that.
That's classic Disney, though. They always
Yeah.
have like some kind of cute little baby around, They love their little baby characters.
Yep.
They gotta have the cute, like.
We gotta sell that merch.
You gotta have the cute group.
Baby Groot, Baby Yoda, Babu Freak.
You know who else likes to sell merch? The STS guys.
Oh.
If you want to get some awesome merch like licensed t-shirts, you should head over to animatedapparelcompany.com and get yourself some cool, like, I don't know, DC t-shirts. And if you enter code STS guys, you're going to save 10% and get free shipping.
Nice.
And then Shumi's got another $50 mystery box, guys. You could get 2 prototypes. These ones are for Breaking Bad. Go to shumistore.com. You can't save 10% on those, but they have all the new Mandalorian pops. You can enter code STS guys and save 10% on those.
Is there a Baby Yoda?
Yeah, you can get Baby Yoda, and you can go ahead and get that mystery box because you know you love mystery boxes. But with our code, you'll save 10% off of anything besides mystery boxes. shumistore.com. This week, it's the best.
It's
even if you get a mystery box, don't they still give you the pops and a pop protector at least?
Oh yeah, the
That's
pops come
cool.
in a pop protector. They'll be in good shape because Shumi's got that mid-box guarantee.
Nice.
Check out our friends, Talking Pops, Pop Collectors Alliance, Funko Funcast, DC Figures and Collectibles Podcast, the Toy
Photographers Podcast.
Toy Photographers Podcast. Thank you, Nate. Especially the episode that Nate was on. Who else do we like? We like Four Dorksmen, Geek Together. There's a lot of great podcasts out there. Secondary Heroes, Totally Rad Movie Podcast. Where next
Thank you
week,
for
Scott...
finally getting the one.
Yes.
Next week, Scott and I are going to talk about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. It's going to be
the
excellent.
movie that coined the phrase that's in our one of our the totally bogus.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen
the movie that made that popular?
I'm excited for number 3. Maybe you might have to do like a little like.
Oh, we're going to talk a little bit about it.
Okay, cool.
That's why. That's why I wanted to watch this one this time because I'm excited about Bill and Ted number 3.
How can you not? First off, how can you not be excited for a Bill and Ted movie?
Especially with the original Bill and Ted. I mean, that's pretty.
Yeah.
And the guy that played Death, he's coming back.
Yeah, the original
cool.
Death, same guy coming back.
That's
so it's cool
awesome.
that they're incorporating 2 and not just being like the new Hollywood thing of like we're going to ignore some of the sequels and just take this as the sequel to that movie.
Well, like you can't bring back Rufus because George Carlin's dead. So
true.
Can they get me the big dude with the guitar? You know, that talks to him when they go to the future.
Yeah,
who seems like maybe he's the president. I'm not really sure what he does, but he seems like he's in charge of all the rest of them. So
yeah, I know who you mean.
He's like the CEO. I don't know what he does, but
I don't know that guy. Maybe he went online and got himself that Lord certificate. I think he's a Lord.
He's a Lord. Yep.
But anyway, we're doing that. Check out all our friends. They got some great podcasts. 2020, it's going to be a great year for podcasts. That's all I got.
It's the best.
It's the best.
All right. Well, with that, does anybody have anything left to say? Any final thoughts before I take it out of here? So, for episode 117 of the STS Guys, I am Scott.
Hey, it's Larry.
I've been Nate.
And y'all have a great night. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Lord Scott.
You're welcome. I did a good job. I didn't fuck up the ending or the intro at all.